Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Today is all about Preloved. Now I've gotten a lot of questions throughout the last couple of weeks, throughout the last couple of months, if I can do a video talking about some of the places that I recommend when it comes to the pre-loved market, what are some of the things that I end up looking for, and just overall tips that I can share with you, especially if you're looking into venturing to the pre-loved market for the very first time. So I hope that you find this video helpful. If you enjoy it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And I know that there's a lot of different websites out there, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more feedback on the ones that I highly recommend and the ones that I have been purchasing from for the last couple of years. So again, I hope that you enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get started, shall we? I get this question all the time. Why Preloved? Why go Preloved instead of going through the boutique? Now, I say to each their own. I definitely love the boutique experience as well. Many of my items have come from the boutique. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not a huge fan of the pre-loved market. I love it for so many different reasons. Number one, I love the fact that it's a way of being able to go back in time and acquire that handbag and acquire that small leather good that you missed out on because of whatever the reason was. And sometimes at an even better price than it was when it was first launched. So I love that reason. I also like the fact that, let's say that you want to add a little variety to your collection and maybe you're not seeing anything that's coming out recently that you're fond of, and maybe you want to add vintage to your collection. The pre-loved market is a fantastic way to be able to do that as well. I know I myself have a few items that I've been looking for the last couple of years. I haven't had the best success, just yet, but I'm still hopeful. But still, vintage is a fantastic way to go when it comes to the pre-loved market. But the best thing of all is that sometimes you can save hundreds, if not thousands, on that item that you had been looking for. And sometimes with those savings, you're able to get maybe another handbag that was on your wish list, or maybe a small leather good from the boutique, or you could put those savings towards a trip. You could put those savings towards whatever you want. So I love that. So as far as being able to travel back in time and get that small leather good or get that handbag that you missed out on, you're able to add vintage pieces if you want to add variety to your collection, or maybe if you were very fond of a certain era, you can do that. And best of all, those savings. Those savings is what it's all about when it comes to the pre-loved market. First up, Fashion File. Anytime anyone asks me where I recommend to purchase luxury goods from, this is one of the first websites that comes up, and I think that they are amazing. I have been buying from them for quite a few years, and I've never had an issue with them once. But I'd have to say that when it comes to Fashion File, I think they have, by far, in my opinion, the best selection out there. So whether you're looking for handbags, small leather goods, shoes, jewelry, sunglasses, they have it. They have pages upon pages upon pages of luxury goods. And sometimes if you're looking for that hard to find item, because they have such a wide variety, such a wide selection, I feel that you have a better chance of finding it on this particular website, more so than anybody else. Again, these are just my own 2 cents, but when it comes to selection, I feel that they are the best. I also have to applaud them on their return policy. Now, when it comes to the pre-loved market, I feel that having a good return policy in place is imperative, because you just never know. You can look at pictures all day long, but until you have that item in your hands, I feel that maybe, once you get it, maybe you're underwhelmed with it, or maybe it wasn't what you thought it would end up being. So by having that return policy in place where you can change your mind without having to worry that now you're out, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, I think is very important, So they do put a little tag on all of their items, whether it's a handbag or anything that you purchase from them, that you can return it within a certain time frame as long as it still has that tag attached. Once that tag is removed, then the item is pretty much yours. But still, having a what I like to call a generous return policy is something that I always look for when it comes to the pre-loved market. They also have very fast domestic shipping, so I'm very fortunate because I do live in California. So sometimes if I buy the item today, I'll have it in my house tomorrow, which makes me very happy because sometimes I get too excited to receive the item. So I love that. But not only do they have great domestic shipping, they also offer international shipping. They also have something called the Fashion File Outlet, which is kind of through their eBay wing, if you will. I know that Fashion File first started many years ago on eBay, and when you go through their eBay website or their outlet website, you're able to find some really good deals on some items. So not only do they have a lot of great features that they offer to people, but their customer service is absolutely outstanding. And anytime I've had a question on anything, if I see something in a listing that doesn't make sense, or if I wanted to get a little bit more information, anytime I have called them, they have been extremely helpful and very, very nice, and they've been able to answer my question or get back to me in a very timely manner. So I love the way that they conduct business. I think it's amazing when it comes to their customer service. They also have a rating system. They have, I believe, from new to good. Now, their rating system, I'd have to say, if they put something that's very good, anytime that I have purchased something from them, it's way better than the pictures or than the description is. Case in point, my Chanel reissue. This bag was listed as very good, and when I unboxed it with you guys, this bag I don't think was ever used. It's in pristine condition, you know, and I think that's awesome. I was expecting very good, and I got pristine, so I was super, super happy. So when it comes to the rating system, just because it says good or just because it says very good doesn't mean that it's in that very good state. It's actually sometimes, in my opinion, a little bit better than what they end up putting on there. They also have something called or you can set alerts for certain items, or you can have them email you when something becomes available. Now this I've had a little bit of issue with because I haven't had the greatest success. I have put so many alerts, like when it came to the reissue, to try to purchase it, and sometimes I felt that I still had to go onto the website every single day in order to look it up, because maybe I didn't get an alert that the item was actually on the website. So I don't know, I might be doing something wrong. I really should call them to see if I am doing something wrong. So that's just something I want to throw out there, because when I did do the unboxing on my reissue, a lot of you guys had said that you also had issues with their alert system. So I don't know, but I will definitely find out. And when I do, I will pass that information along. I really should have done it before the video, but I mean, it's one of those things that I feel I'm definitely doing wrong. But other than that, Fashionphile, I think, is amazing. And their selection, their customer service, their return policy, I have been very, very happy when it comes to this website. Next up, Yogi's Closet or Yugi's Closet. I don't know. Some people pronounce it differently. I pronounce it Yogi's Closet. I'm probably saying it wrong, but you guys know what I'm saying. But this is the other website that I always recommend between Fashionphile and Yogi's Closet. Those two always come to mind, and I also think that this website is amazing. Not only do they also have a fantastic return policy, they also offer international shipping, but as far as descriptions go and as far as pictures go, they are the best. They have anywhere from 10 to 15 pictures of an item. They have every single angle, every single nook and cranny. And sometimes they have these really detailed close-up shots where you can see everything when it comes to the item that you are looking to purchase. So I think that that's amazing. Like I said, even though that they have an awesome return policy, I still want to be able to see everything as much as I can before the item is in my hands. But not only do they have a lot of pictures that you can end up looking at, but they also have these amazing descriptions. And I'm talking about to the point where not only do they tell you what year the item is from, what collection it's from, does it have a missing thread, does it have a nick, does it have this, does it have that. They just go into every possible detail, almost to the point where you already know what you're going to get. And I like that, because that way there's no surprises. It's not like you're expecting to get this bag, and when you open it up, you see something completely different. You're like, wait a minute, they didn't describe this, they didn't describe that. And they always talk about if there's a certain smell to the item, if it has this or if it has that. So descriptions and pictures, by far the best. The best. They also have something where you can get notified. You can go into their sold section, and if something comes up similar to it, you can also put kind of like an alert, or they can email you. I have had great success with that. And anytime I put something like, okay, email me if something like this becomes available or an alert comes up, they've emailed me constantly, even if it's not necessarily the same color that I was looking for. Like if I just put Chanel reissue, case in point again, if I put Chanel reissue, and if I put black, they'll still end up sending me some that were blue or purple or what have you, just as a little bit more variety. So I like that, and they're very on top of it when it comes to being able to email you back. So I think that's awesome. But they also have very great pricing, and just in general, their return policy, their international shipping, and again, just the fact that they are so detailed when it comes to the descriptions is something that I definitely appreciate the most when it comes to Yogi's Closet. And they also have an amazing team when it comes to customer service as well, kind of like what I talked about with Fashion File. I've had tons of questions about items that I had my eye on when it comes to purchasing through them, and they've been able to answer every single question that I had, sometimes going above and beyond what I was asking and being able to make me feel that much more comfortable about the purchase. So I really do applaud them for that. And the last one is the Real Real. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. It's been quite some time since I have purchased from them. I did take a step back, and I will talk about it in just a second. But as far as some of the things that I really do appreciate about this website is their pricing. I feel that they have some of the lowest prices when it comes to the pre-loved market, more so than anybody else. For example, if you find a handbag on this other website for $2,000, oftentimes you will find that same handbag on the Real Real for $1,500 or $1,400. So the savings are substantially larger on top of the already lower price when it comes to the pre-loved market. So their pricing is amazing on some of the items. Now, the main reason why I took a step back from them, this is again just my own opinion on it. They do have a great sales team as far as their customer service, but I also found that the fact that they don't have a very flexible return policy, everything is for handbags, I should say, is final sale. Now, kind of like what I talked about with the other two websites, I feel that when it comes to the pre-loved market, it is imperative to have that just in case something comes up or you change your mind. I completely understand from a business standpoint, but as far as a consumer, I prefer to have that peace of mind that I can change my mind if when I get the item, it's not necessarily what I was hoping for. You know what I mean? So their return policy when it comes to handbags and a few other items is final sale. Now, there have been times in the past that when I did purchase from them, if I found something on the handbag that wasn't on the description or it wasn't in the pictures, I was able to call them up and say, hey, it has this, you guys didn't describe it, and they were able to send me a return label that I can end up returning the item. So I did like that. Like I said before, they have a really great customer service team that they can take care of you if it's something that wasn't on the listing or that wasn't pictured. At the same time, they don't offer too many pictures when it comes to their items. I know sometimes they have anywhere from 5 to 6, but again, I feel that it's important to have as many pictures as possible. I know that it can always change when you get the item itself, but still, you don't want to be surprised. You don't want to have that surprise factor come in when you open your item and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I ended up getting. But like I said, it's been quite some time since I purchased from them just because I took a step back because of that. And oftentimes I have also found that their descriptions aren't very descriptive. You know, that they'll just say, they will tell you what collection it's from, which I really like. They'll tell you the serial SKU when it was from for Chanel or what have you. But there's still not too much more information. So sometimes I feel that that uneasy feeling came up as far as me being comfortable about going all in with the purchase just in case it didn't end up working out. So like I said, when it comes to pricing, I think that they are phenomenal. They also offer international shipping, which is great. They have a store in New York, which you can go see. They also had a pop-up store. I don't know if it's still there, but they had one in Las Vegas, which was pretty awesome because you can see the items there. But as far as pricing goes, like I said, I think that they have some of the best prices out there. But just something to keep in the back of your mind if you decide to go that route is that most of their items are final sale, and sometimes the descriptions aren't as detailed as I would like when it comes to the pre-loved market. An honorable mention that I wanted to also throw out there, they are the groups on Facebook. Whether you go through the Chanel groups or the Handbag Addict groups or the Louis Vuitton groups, I absolutely love the overall atmosphere when it comes to purchasing something from those groups because they are like-minded individuals, you know. And you get someone that's like, oh, I didn't want to set it down because of the vachetta on the sides. I didn't want to set it down because it doesn't have studs or whatever it is. It's almost like you get the same type of crazy. You get the same type of person that understands your love for luxury goods, and they get what's important to you when it comes to buying a pre-loved good. And they've always been super, super nice, very detailed. They send you so many different pictures. So I did have the opportunity to purchase from the groups on Facebook once upon a time. Great success, and I had such a wonderful time, so I thought I would throw that out there as well. There are three things that I look for when it comes to the pre-loved market. Number one is the pricing, number two is the condition, and number three is what it comes with. Now, as far as pricing goes, there is no set percentage that I end up going for. I know I get this question asked quite a bit. Do I go for 50% off? Do I go for 35% off? To be completely honest, it all depends on the item. I have been able to get something 50% off and other times 25% off. Again, it all depends on what it is that I'm looking for. But I know that there's a lot of websites, a lot of pre-loved websites that go way over retail on some of the items that are hard to find or some of the items that are very popular. But for me, when it comes to going pre-loved, I want that deal. I want to be able to save hundreds or thousands of dollars on an item. For example, let's say that something is $50 below retail, and that's great if that's the route that you want to go. But for me personally, I would much rather go to the boutique, pay the extra $50, then I have the warranty through the store. So the $50 difference, again, while it might be great for some people, I just don't see it as that big of a savings when it's so close to the retail value, because I want those savings. I want those, I want to be able to say I got an awesome deal by going on the pre-loved market when it comes to this item or what have you. So pricing is something that can be tricky. Like I said, there's no set percentage, there's no set price, but I do take into consideration how much it retails for and how much they're selling it for. Now that brings me on to the condition of the item. Now I know that by going the pre-loved route, there is a chance that a lot of these items will have quite a few beauty marks. And what I do appreciate about going this route is that sometimes it allows you to be able to enjoy the item that much more without having to worry that you're going to baby it. I, for one, am someone that tends to baby some items. I try to be very carefree with some of them because of the materials that they have, but others I feel that I put in a little bubble and I just don't want anything to happen to it. But by going the pre-loved route, if it does have those extra beauty marks that someone already put on it, not only does it add character to the bag, but I feel that I'm able to enjoy it a little bit more. And this is kind of where the crazy comes in. I've talked about it before. Now, even though I completely understand and appreciate what I just said about going the pre-loved route and being able to enjoy the item that much more, there's also a fine line when it comes to that condition, at least for me, because if something has way too many chips on the hardware already, or if it has way too many wrinkles on the side, or it's already losing its structure quite a bit, and then I have to take into consideration the type of silhouette that it has or the type of leather that it has. Will it get that much worse over time? And when it comes to buying pre-loved for me, I want to be able to prolong the life of the item. I want to be able to enjoy it for many, many years to come, especially because I feel that I'm very apprehensive as to what I add to my collection nowadays than I ever was before. So if I can get many years out of the item, depending on the condition that it's in, and already taking into consideration the price point that it has, it always makes me feel a little bit better. And the last thing, as far as what it comes with, to me, it's not really, I couldn't care less if it comes with a dust bag, if it comes with a box. The only thing that I look for when it comes to the pre-loved market, and only when it comes to Chanel, is the authenticity card. I know that might not make sense to some of you guys, but that is something that I prefer to look for. Like I said, if it comes with a box, if it comes with the dust bag, the ribbon, this, that, or the other, I feel that those are all bonuses. But to me, being able to have the authenticity card is something that I've always wanted to look for. When I was trying to find the Chanel reissue, I found some amazing, amazing bags out there as far as their pricing was. Some of them had a few more beauty marks than this one did, but almost all of them didn't have the authenticity card. And I knew that that's something that I wanted to, I know that's a detail that I was absolutely looking for when it came to going the pre-loved route, which is kind of funny because if you think about it, Louis Vuitton doesn't come with authenticity cards, and if Louis Vuitton it was just the item itself, I'd be okay with it. But when it comes to Chanel, that is just something that I prefer. Just like some people might absolutely have to have the dust bag, or they have to have the box that comes with it. It's all a matter of whatever it is that you are looking for when it comes to your prerequisites of going the pre-loved route. You have to remember, this is just one bag lady's opinion about going this particular route. And I do have 3 tips that I would like to just throw out there just in case you're interested. The first one is patience. Patience is definitely a virtue. And I know that sounds super after school special of me, but if you are looking for something in specific, just hold on to it. You know, don't give in because you're kind of, you're like, okay, I've been looking for this bag for 3 weeks or for a month and I haven't found it. I'm just going to go ahead and get this one. If you are dead set on getting a handbag that is lambskin and has the light gold champagne hardware and all you can find is caviar and silver hardware, just wait a second. Wait a second. Because when it comes to the pre-loved market, as I said at the beginning, you're able to find them. You might not find it this month. You might not find it next month, but you might find it the month after. You never know. There's just so many different handbags out there. So many people that, you know, that are selling their items because they want to be able to get this. And I feel that you'll be able to find exactly what it is that you're looking for. So don't settle for something else because you feel that you're not going to find it. You definitely will. There were times when I was just like, you know what? I give up. I'm going to go through the boutique to buy my reissue. I want to be able to find this. And all I kept finding for months and months at a time was the aged black leather and the ruthenium hardware. I think it's a great combination for other people, but for me, I wanted that gold hardware and I stuck to it. There were times when I was just like, nope, not gonna happen, but it came up and I could not be happier. So patience is definitely a virtue. Another thing that I'd have to say is double authentication. Now, I know that a lot of the websites that I talked about are very reputable. They've been in business for a long, long time. But to me, being able to double authenticate something, triple authenticate something gives me that extra peace of mind that I want when it comes to going the pre-loved route. Because if you are the type of person that only purchases from the boutique and you are now wanting to venture into the pre-loved market, I think that there's that type of, you know, that uneasy feeling. You're just thinking, okay, well, what if it's not what it's saying it is? What if it's not authentic? What if this? What if that? By being able to get it double authenticated or authenticated from another company, and you know, even though you are buying it from a reputable source, by having that extra authentication, I feel it gives you that much more peace of mind, and you feel that much better about the purchase. You know, and whether you pay $20, $30, $40, $50 for another authentication, who cares? Because to me, being able to have that peace of mind is priceless in a sense. I know, I know, in a sense though, because I feel, I'm like, okay, you know, it is exactly what it is that I'm buying and I'm not getting swindled by, you know, by whatever it is that they're saying. So I don't think that there's anything wrong by getting something authenticated multiple times, or whether it's one other time by another company, even though you're buying from a reputable source. That's how I have always felt. And anytime I buy something pre-loved, I always go to certain authentication services. One of my favorites is Real Authentication. I've talked about them before. Great turnaround time, very, very thorough, and it just makes me feel it makes me feel good about the purchase. And the last tip that I wanted to throw out there is ask questions. And whether you decide to go through a pre-loved store, or whether you decide to go through eBay or through Poshmark or Tradesy or whoever it is, ask questions. If you feel uncomfortable, or if there's something that you are not crazy about or fond of when you are looking at the pictures or when you're looking at the description, if you call them up, if you send them an email, if you send them a text, a DM, or whatever it is on whichever site or whichever way that you are deciding to purchase the item from, you know, ask the question if it makes you feel better. And if anything, the person who's selling it or the company who's selling it should understand, because we're not talking about, you know, a stick of gum, and we're not talking about 5 cents. We're talking about hundreds, thousands of dollars, and you want to feel completely comfortable about what it is that you're purchasing. And if that person is going to not get back to you in a timely manner, if that person is going to get annoyed at you because you are asking questions, then that to me is kind of a red flag. I had that happen many years ago. I asked someone a question and they were just like, you know what, either you want to buy it or you don't. And I'm just like, okay, well, this item is not $20, you know, and they were, it wasn't a great experience that I had. So I passed on the item. I was bummed out because I really liked it, but I knew in my heart of hearts, and I knew in the back of my mind, that I wasn't going to enjoy the item as much because there were still questions that I had about it that only the seller could end up answering. You know, so ask questions, ask as many as it takes for you to feel comfortable with whichever avenue you decide to purchase your pre-loved goods from. All right, you guys, so that does it for my video on Preloved. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. And if you guys would like me to do a video on where I sell or places to sell and what to expect, let me know in the comment section down below. I thought about also adding it into this video, but I figured I would just focus solely on buying Preloved and some of the places that I like to purchase from and just the overall experiences that I have had. But again, I really hope that this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. But I would love to know in the comment section, what are some of your favorite websites to purchase Preloved from? What are some of the best deals that you guys ended up getting on some of the goodies that you have? If you can, let us know in the comment section down below. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.